रोशनी का कारवां।
This podcast is brought to you by Score Foundation.
ये है रोशनी, रोशनी, रोशनी का कारवां, रोशनी। Eyeway, ये है रोशनी का कारवां।
Hi, my name is George Abraham, and welcome to Eyeway Conversations. My guest today is a young lady who comes all the way from Kohima in Nagaland. Presently, she's working as an intern at Enable India, Bangalore. Welcome, Nzano Shitio.
Thank you so much for having me here, sir.
Fly me to the moon and let me play among the stars. Let me see what spring is like on Jupiter and Mars. In other words, hold my hand. In other words, darling, kiss me. Fill my heart with song and let me sing forevermore. You are all I long for, all I worship and adore. In other words, please be true. In other words, I love you.
So that was a lovely song, Nzano. Or should I call you Lovely? Because I believe your name means lovely, right?
Yes, sir. You can call me anything.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
So, Lovely, how did you get into music? Of course, a lot of people from your part of the world, which is Nagaland and Manipur and Meghalaya and Mizoram and so on, are into music in a big way, and some of the big choirs of India come from that part of the country. But how did you, as a person growing up in Kohima, get interested in music?
Like when I was a little girl, I was so into music. Back then I don't go to school. I would often listen to some songs where we used to have this MP3.
Yeah.
I would listen to those songs and try to follow the music. And that's where I got into songs. As I grew up, I started gaining more interest in, singing. And whenever I see people, playing guitar or piano, I used to think, I wish I could do this. It all started when I was at the age of 9. My church members, they invite me and my brother to sing a song. That was a very fresh and new thing for me to start the journey of singing.
Right.
I still remember I was so nervous. I was like, oh my gosh, how can I go and present this? Because I've never sang in public. So it all started in our church. Thanks to our church, they really built us up. And that's how it started.
So, did somebody teach you? Did you have a professional teacher coming and teaching
No.
you, or you just picked up?
I just picked up.
So, in a guitar, there are 6 strings and several frets.
Yes.
How do you find your way around those frets and strings?
I asked my cousin brother to explain me the concept of this guitar. First, to give me the orientation, how to go and so on. And from there, I still remember he taught me how to play A, D, and E. And then he was like, with these 3 keys, you will be able to sing any song.
Right.
I was like, wow, this is amazing. And I started like practicing with these 3 keys, like singing different songs. That's how I started learning. Yeah.
What was the kind of support you got from your family in these early days when you started learning music?
They were very supportive, especially my mom and my daddy, of course. Like, just because of my disability, they didn't stop me from like the things which I wanted to do. Like, when we talk about singing, like they did not say like you will not be able to do it. They were pretty confident to let me try like whatever I got to, you know, or whatever I'm interested in. Yeah.
Being a disabled child in Kohima, in Nagaland, what is the kind of approach to education? Do parents actually think their children need to be educated? Did you go to school right from the time everybody else goes to school, or your schooling was delayed?
My schooling was delayed due to some reasons. Like, of course, they were not having any awareness back then. And due to that, like, my parents were not able to find a proper school for us, for me. Um, it all started in year of 2011, I guess, if I'm not wrong. So before that, we were just having this home-based education and all those things, like where they will come and teach us, which I was not finding interest at all. I was like wanted to go to school like how my friends are going. But there was a particular school called Cherry Blossom School in Kohima. There, we got connected, and yeah, we did admission out there, and from there I did my schooling.
So, how did you learn to read and write? Meaning, if there was no blind schools, no special schools, and I guess the expertise of teaching Braille or so on, and maybe even technology might not have been available that easily for you. Uh, how did reading and writing and those kind of issues get resolved for you?
Yeah, to be frank, it was not easy for me. Um, Especially like you've mentioned, back then there was no technology at all, and even the smartphone they don't have talkback at all in 2011, 12, or like 10.
Right.
What we did was like the teacher will read for us. We have to listen to that carefully, and then I was having a keypad phone back then. Then I'll record from there, and yeah, that's how I was reading. And for the writing, mostly it was like oral. Um,
All your tests were oral.
yes.
And what about class 10?
Class 10, I took scribe
And this was a CBSE board or the state board?
and iOS.
NIOS, okay.
Yes.
So for NIOS, did you have to go to a classroom, or it was you just a
Yeah,
short
it was
while?
two options. So we can either go to class, or even if we don't go, that's fine. It was like that. But I went to class, and yeah, that's how I gave.
So how did your day in the school look like? Was it always just studies and coming home, or there was other activities that you were involved with?
Yeah, there was some activities like of course, like during the Teachers' Day we will present a song, a literary day, where we would have a singing competition in our school, sports. Although the school was not very much like good with the facility, it was so inclusive that I had a very good schooling, like with my friends. I didn't face any discrimination from my school side. It was super.
And what about your social life, your friends and so on? Was it easy to make friends, or they were just helpful, but they didn't really share their lives with you? How was it?
School life was, as I mentioned, I didn't face any like discrimination. Everybody was same, and they treat me the same only. So my social life was pretty good in school days.
Did you also enjoy playing games, or it was mainly
Oh
studies and music and
no,
that kind of stuff?
I also enjoyed playing games, and yeah, I was also naughty at one point.
Okay.
Yeah,
So games like what?
games like we play this during the sports. We will play this tug of war
Yeah.
and long jump, running race, all those.
So how did you manage running race and long jump, not being able to see?
Long jump was kind of easy for me because I grew up with my brothers and all. So whatever they play, I will play with them. So I learned from my childhood. Well, when it comes to running race, somebody has to guide me. That's how I, yeah,
And
played.
the school was open to doing that for you.
Yes.
If you know of anyone with vision impairment who needs guidance on living life with blindness, please share the Eyeway National Toll-Free Helpline number 1800-5320-469. The number is 1800-5320-469.
After school, what did you do?
Due to some reason, I was having a mental issue. Like I fell into a very bad depression. I
Right.
was not able to, I was not able to focus on anything. I was really, really helpless.
So this mental challenge that you had, was it triggered because of your not being able to see and the disadvantage of being blind, or there were other contributing reasons?
Yes, if I am being honest, like I was not able to accept myself.
Hmm.
So to say, I was not able to accept my disability because of the society where I grew up. Sometimes I hear things like it is all because of your mommy and daddy girls and all those things.
Hmm.
Because of that, I was not able to accept myself and face the world. And I became very bad at social life. I became very introvert. Um, After that, I tried my best to come out of that zone, which I was not able to. And I did not share all these things to my family, nor my mom, my dad, no one, because I just don't want to give them like any tension or like trouble.
Right.
Yeah, so
So
I was seeking,
where did you get help from?
I got help from one counselor. So we had a counseling session. From there, like slowly, I came out of that.
How long did this challenge with your mindset or your mental status go on for? Was it prolonged over a few years, or it was a few months?
It was like 10, 10 years or 9 years, I think.
And this all happened
But
after school.
actually, my aim in life was to become a singer.
Yeah.
What happened? I was so passionate about that, and I started taking piano.
Yeah.
I went to the institution, which I will not mention the name of the institution,
Yeah.
and to take a admission, which they rejected me. They
Yeah.
said that, oh, you have a vision problem, so you'll not be able to, do it.
Yeah.
This, that. I was like, okay, it's okay. And I went to another institution and they said, okay, we will accept you. So for, I think, just one class they took. And they started saying to me, okay, we will inform you when the trainer is there. But then still I didn't got any info for around like 6 or 7 months. I
Right.
called them and said like, this has happened. I'm not getting any info. And they were like, sorry, we will not be able to accept you. All those things. Which after they, even after taking the deposit and money, everything was. So from that point on, I was like, okay, I will give up on these things as well. Then I fell into a very bad depression again.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's how it all started.
When you got into the depression, obviously you would have sought out help. You said you had some counseling help, but what do
Yeah.
you think actually changed everything for you? What was the kind of trigger that helped you get out of the depression and move on in life?
Okay, so actually, in the year of 2023,
Yeah.
I went to Shillong for my computer training,
Yeah.
where I met a very, she's my idol. as well as at the moment she's my manager. Her name is Dr. Sudha.
Yeah.
I met her like she was my life skill trainer,
Yeah.
and she taught me to have a resilient,
Yeah.
and that's how she really built me. And coming to after finishing that course, again I attended an English course online
Yeah.
where I met her again.
Yeah.
So that's how we connected like last year, 2024. And then even last year I was in really bad shape. So I almost gave up my life as well.
Right.
I was dealing with suicide attempt and all those things.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is it. I still remember calling her and crying, like because I had no one to share with.
Yeah.
So I still remember I called her and I was like, ma'am, this is it. Nothing is working out in my life.
Hmm.
I am ready to give up. That's what
Yeah.
I thought. I still
Yeah.
remember.
Yeah.
And she told me, just have resilience. You have come till here this much. If you give up, there will be no point.
Yeah.
That's why I realized, yeah, it's true. What will be the point if I give up now? No one, anyhow, no one is gonna understand for what reason I give up and just hang myself.
Yep.
So I just whatever she told me, I studied one by one, and I was like, I can do it. Going forward, I'm not gonna do this. So that's how I came out from that.
This Dr. Sudha that you're talking about, is she responsible for you to shift to Bangalore and join Enable India as a intern?
It all started, I was like, I'm just tired of staying in Kohima. There is no scope for me. That's what I
Yeah.
realized.
Right.
So I I joined. I came to Bangalore, and then I approached her. That's how she helped me to get into this internship.
To support our work with the blind and visually impaired, you can visit the donate page on our website www.scorefoundation.org.in. Please note www.scorefoundation.org.in.
What is the kind of work you do on this in this
Um,
internship?
so there is a very newly project called Manomaya,
Yes.
where it started on October last year.
Yeah.
So this Manomaya is based on mental health for the persons with disability as well as for the non-PWD.
Yeah.
So here my role means my job roles are like sending mails
Yeah.
and sending notes and reference to the students, I mean like to the pages. Yeah, so those are my roles and responsibilities.
So, are you enjoying this? Are you learning something here?
Yeah, I'm learning a lot and I'm really enjoying my work.
I also understand that you have a passion for writing. So, how did this passion start, and what is the kind of writing you do?
Again, it all started with my depression.
Okay.
I was having no one to share to, so I started learning to write my thoughts and to journal down and make it as poem and so on.
You said that you've been writing poetry and writing your journal entries, basically to put down your thoughts, your feelings, and
Yes.
your emotions while you were going through the struggle with your mental situation.
Yes, sir.
So this is must be a very private diary kind of thing. Do you share this with people, or this is something that you keep to yourself?
This is something that I keep to myself. I have never shared to anyone. Yeah. So
But
this is kind of
so now that you've discovered that you can write poetry and you write well, have you ever thought of writing a blog or using your writing skills to share your views and ideas of life?
till now there are no such kind. But maybe in the future, I'll see.
Do you think this writing skills and the poetry skills and so on can merge with your interest in music?
Yeah, of course.
Have you any thoughts in that direction?
I feel like um music and writing, it's something like can merge, and it can relate a lot. I also wrote a song last year, but I was not able to get the time to make a melody. But hopefully this year I'm planning to release.
You plan to put it to music and record and release it
Yes,
as a
yes,
single.
yes.
How big is your family, Lovely?
I have two brothers, one sister. I'm the
Yeah.
youngest one. Mommy and daddy.
And you are the only person who's blind, or you have siblings who are blind as well?
My brother is also visually impaired.
Right. So, what is the kind of family relationship with your sister, with your brothers? I mean, how has it worked out over the years?
Um, it is like we're close.
Right.
Yeah, but again, I am a little bit different than others. So usually I will not share much. But yeah, in general, we are close.
Yeah, because I was wondering when you sent me the note, you had mentioned that you've had a streak of loneliness right from early childhood. Did I read right?
Yes. Yes. It was all because of the society, how they look at me as a person with disability. They look at me as kind of alien. I hope you're getting what I mean.
Yeah, yeah,
Like as
and
if like I'm from the different world.
right,
And that make me feel so unworthy. Like at times I felt that maybe I'm not meant for this world.
right,
And I keep questioning to myself, am I worthy of this life? Like, do I deserve to stay in this world? That was my question growing up.
right.
So yeah.
And you didn't share this with your parents?
I sometimes will ask my Mom, why am I born into this world? That will be my question. That's what I will ask my mom.
Yeah,
And I still remember I asked the same question to my dad, and my daddy was like, "One day you'll become someone in life. Just be brave, be a strong girl." That's what he told me.
and that
So
must have been
yeah,
quite motivating.
of course, so much.
You're, I think, about 25 years old. And what do you see your future as? What is your passion? What is your aspiration at, say, 20 years down the line? What do you think you would like to be?
I actually, to be frank, I'm just going with the flow for now, with no expectation because growing up, I grew up with a lot of expectation. It really tears me. So I am just going with the flow. Let's see what the future brings for me.
As an intern, right now, how long have you been involved with this program?
6 months.
And this internship is a 1 year program, or is it an ongoing program? How long is it for?
This internship, I got an internship for 6 months. So
Yeah,
which will be getting it will be getting over on the 15th of April this month. So yeah.
that's just a few days away.
Yeah.
So, what is your plan after that?
We will have a discussion about my internship. So after that I will know what's the next.
Okay.
Yes.
But what is your expectations? What do you want to happen after the 15th of April?
Of course I want employment out there.
Hmm.
But it also depends on the situation. So I cannot exactly say what I want after this internship. Yeah.
So, as they say, you're waiting and watching.
Yes, I'm waiting and watching.
In the meanwhile, I guess you'll work on your single.
Yes, I'm planning to do it.
Right. So wonderful, lovely. Wish you the very best, and it is fantastic to know that you have fought through your difficult stages in life, and you're lucky and blessed that you got the support at the right time and
Yeah.
guidance at the right time, and I think you will find your way in life. So wish you the very best, and great talking to you. And
Yeah, thank you so much for having me in this podcast.
Eyeway, ये है रोशनी का कारवां.
This podcast was brought to you by Score Foundation.